Hello friends, and welcome to the ITS Champions League qualifying rounds here on Action Round Zero. With Harib Flores at the controls, I'm Justin Abramson, and it's great to have you with us for this Round 3 clash between Yannick Minsier and Justin Nordstrom. Yannick has made it to this game by winning the championship of the Belgian League, which seeded him directly into the third round. He's currently ranked number 62 in ITSR, and he was also able to squeak out an ITSL playoff berth in the EMEA conference, finishing 12-7-1 and grabbing the second to last spot. Justin qualified for the Champions League by finishing second in the Atlantic Coast Tournament. The runner-up finish qualified him for the second round, during which he split his two games, but advanced to the third round based on turn score in this rather unusual best-of-two format. Justin is ranked 110th in ITSR and will be headed to the silver playoffs this season in ITSL, so on paper there's no question he's a little bit of an underdog here. However, don't tell that to Justin, as he was just the 12th highest ranked player heading into Atlantic Coast Tournament and managed to finish second. So wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is for you, come on along for the ride as these two champions try to do their countries proud here on Twilight Struggle's biggest stage. Now I'd like to bring in Harib. Harib, I know you've been following the action closely, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this interesting best-of-two format the Champions League has adopted.
Thank you, Justin. Welcome to everyone. So let's see obvious Middle East scoring opening. Just raise your hand.
Yeah, so Yannick will be the US and Justin the USSR. They will switch over for game two. Interesting hand for Justin. He's got to be happy to see D-stall there, but he's also got 5-year plan, which means that unless he plays China or decides to space 5-year plan off to the waist, he's going to have to D-stall this turn. And D-stall can be a little bit weak on turn one. Now, good news for Justin is that Comic-Con appears in Yannick's hand to perhaps give Justin some D-stall food, but Comic-Con is certainly going to be held for blockade, I would think, so Justin's probably not going to get it before he has to D-stall, which could make things a little bit more uncomfortable for him.
I'm not sure what the Justin headline there. I didn't see that.
Yeah, so Justin's still thinking about this headline.
Oh, okay, right. Just 6 card because we're early war.
We are. Looks like the videos are not.
Our efforts are made in the belief that men and nations can cooperate, and that there are no international problems which men of goodwill cannot solve or adjust.
Okay, so Yannick going with Middle East scoring makes sense. Now, having 2 scoring cards in your hand as the USer is not ideal, of course, but if you have to have 2 scoring cards, these are the best 2 to have, and it looks like Justin is not going to be able to get off any kind of attack in Europe. Justin's going to go for the AI war, and he misses on war, so a bit of a double whammy here. Justin misses on the war, and then Yannick collects 4 VPs. Justin's going to go for a big NATO coup. Will he try Italy? No, he just tries the Iran coup, and he gets one in there. So that often tempts a coup back, but with Europe scoring in my hand, I don't know that I would do that coup back. What do you think, Harib?
I'm sorry, I was synchronizing the video, so can you repeat the question, please?
Sure, yeah. So oftentimes a coup in Iran that leaves just one in there. Sometimes that can tempt a coup back from the US player. Would you coup back here, or would you make the safer play and spread out?
Yeah, I think the safer play is better, but maybe nuclear artist, but containment is a really good card to have.
Yeah, containment would be a nice card to hold into turn 2.
Yeah.
Now Yannick, of course, is safe putting one into Egypt because he has Nasser in his hand. But he decides to burn containment right away. Make sure he gets one into France. And Justin's going to go for a coup right away. He wants to coup. Oh, he's going to coup Panama. Okay, so he
Yannick
there.
He want to coup everyone.
Yep, so he wants to get DEFCON down for D-stall.
The problem is you are just giving China so easily to the USSR. say.
Yeah, so he concedes Thailand, and it looks like Justin's just going to go ahead and dump Asia score in 5-year plan. He's going to need the ops based on the strength of his hand here. I'm a little bit surprised. If I were Yannick, I would like to take Europe domination right away. I would go to Thailand, to France right here with Middle East scored, and just reduce the possibility for shenanigans on Justin's part, you know, a poke of West Germany or whatever. I'd like to get that scoring card out as soon as possible. But I also understand that with DEFCON at 3, you know, a coup there denies you mill ops and denies you access to Libya if Justin rolls well. So, interesting decision here. He's got 2 more influences to play with. I think taking Thailand is very smart, given that Justin could have deep hog
and that there are no
I like 2 Thailand, 2 France here. What about you, Harvey? Would you spread it to Libya instead?
No. I didn't even go to Egypt this time. I think there was no rush. You have Minsier. You have time to go for Egypt before playing Nasser. So I think more influence in France, even the action round before as well.
Yep. So Yannick does in fact go with that, and so he takes a Europe domination, and Justin looks like, I wonder if Justin's going to coup again. Get DEFCON down to 2, and then head into South America.
And that influence in Egypt, that's another coupable target.
Yep. Yes. So Justin's obviously, he's going to get Egypt with Nasser, but of course he wants access to Libya as well, and he wants to deny Yannick Milops, and on top of that, of course, he wants to safely get into South America. Now, clearing Yannick out of Panama means he doesn't have to worry about covering up Venezuela with 2 influence. He can just put 1 in there, 1 in Angola, 1 Chile, and then 1 somewhere else, maybe Algeria. We will see, maybe Panama. Blockade probably not getting evented here would be my guess, with D-Stall in Justin's hand and him low on ops. Justin's thinking hard about this play. He's got 2 ops for... Ooh, interesting. He's going to dump Asia and hold 5-year plan. Well, he's probably going to regret that decision because Europe is about to come out. I think he was probably hoping to draw Europe with 5-year plan. So yeah, Justin, that's... I don't know if that was a mistake by Justin, but perhaps a calculated gamble that went wrong for him. And so now Yannick up by 9 VPs. Who in Egypt, and he gets a 3.
I guess he was afraid about South Korea because if Yannick takes South Korea, that Africa scoring was problematic.
Yeah. So decides to dump Asia scoring, and then Yannick is going to get a couple more VPs out of captured Nazi scientists. So he's now at 11. Wow, what a first turn here from the U.S. And Justin will get some relief here with the D-Stall, hoping to make some gains in the mid-war regions, but my goodness, 11 VPs, tough to deal with. Now, fortunately, become 9 with Milops, but still quite a hole for Justin to dig out. Angola, Algeria, Venezuela.
I'm not sure if I prefer Algeria or Algeria.
Yeah, a little bit of a tough call. I guess Algeria gives you access to France. Suez lists have not been seen yet, so that is beneficial even with Europe scores. But of course, all 3 early war regions are scored, so they're all equally valuable here. And yeah, I like the move. He's gonna put another would have liked to see Yannick take Thailand. Excuse me, he already has Thailand. I would have liked to see Yannick take Lebanon there, secure that presence in the Middle East. Obviously, there's more time to do it, but Justin now with access there, and with no Europe scoring, I suspect that Justin will simply move by to plan and discard blockade. Get another card for next turn, hoping to draw a depot. So I would expect Lebanon here, maybe Zaire. Okay. Shores up Iran, does not enter Pakistan. That probably makes sense with the war still.
Yes,
tough.
Zaire seems an obvious option because of CIA. I think Algeria was really rough.
Yeah, I agree. I would have taken Algeria because
there's no rush because of Iran.
Yeah.
You are blocking the access to traffic.
Yep, I think I would like to see Justin take Algeria there instead of Iran, but we'll see how it works out for him. So Yannick does get to Libya, and so Nasser only cost him Egypt and not Libya as well.
Yeah, the problem of going in Libya now is that there is no target for a coup right now, and you are creating a new one.
That's true. Libya is a nice coup target now. Justin, I'm sure, would like to do some attacking of European battlegrounds here. But now with France at 5, that becomes a tougher proposition because even de Gaulle makes it only 3-1. Truman's still around. So attacking Europe is going to be tough. And so a coup in Libya makes sense. Makes sense for Justin. Let's see, obviously, what he draws. Okay, so he gets lots of ops, but no good events. He also gets CIA. So lots of high numbers there, but not necessarily a great hand. The factors I believe is also unseen. So let's see if Justin does go with the purge. I think it's really the only option here. I think he would go with the purge and hope he doesn't use the vector. Right, wouldn't you do that? Would you do that, Harry?
Yeah, I think. Whoa. Oh, well, that's another option you have a cover in your hand.
Yep, that's
CIA,
true.
But I think if now giving CIA now is problematic because nine points behind you need 2 minutes. You need to get that point. Maybe
Justin does have IP war, so he will get 1 mil, but he won't get 2.
1 million and giving Africa. I don't know. Maybe he can.
Yep, okay, so I give CIA in a headline.
La lucha armada es el único camino para la liberación.
So no Europe attack card Justin's hand. In fact, he's got Marshall and EU as well. So I would expect to see, I'd like to see Justin patch up Algeria here. That's exactly what he does. Goes into South Korea as well, which is good because Yannick could otherwise try the war and then take South Korea. What are your thoughts on de Gaulle and Suez? France is overprotected at 5. Would you event de Gaulle and Suez to get them out of the deck and so you don't have to deal with them again and worry about them coming back? Or would you try to space them or hold them?
Well, the space track is something very much advanced too, but you have another track to space. You want to space Korean War, maybe Vietnam, so you can't defend both of them.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of eventing de Gaulle here, especially with Justin already having access to France. You event de Gaulle and you fix him, or even just fix 2 of them, even just spend 2 lots there and 1 somewhere else. France is still overprotected. You're in good shape, and then the best weapon for the USSR to take France is gone.
I like to live in the edge, on the edge in Europe, overprotect, but
yes, you do. I'm a bit more cautious with France, as some of my friends will tell me. Justin uses his one-up, gets Truman out of the deck, and spreads into India to make sure he can cover both. Looks like this is going to be one of those classic games in Asia where the USSR is ahead in battlegrounds but unable to secure domination with no access to Southeast Asia.
Yeah, I think Justin did
por lo menos en las condiciones de nuestro país
giving this
no había otro
access to
camino.
Thailand. Now you can. It's really hard to dominate Asia.
Yeah, Justin is going to need to.
Asia will be 2 or 3 points with battleground difference, but it will be a big difference. There's blue. You know, with this in your hand, you want to love that combat. Playing a high tempo is not bad. Don't worry that is taking his time.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a difficult situation with Justin because he had to de-stall on turn 1. And so, okay, Yannick decides to take another Southeast Asian country and go into Burma as well to threaten India, so Justin's got to cover that up now. EEU, now not really a problem at all with Warsaw and Comic-Con both defended out of the deck, so I expect Justin will just cover up India. At some point he's got to expand in South America, so looks like Asia's going to be a draw. It looks like the Middle East is going to be a draw. Oh, interesting. He gets one into Burma. Getting some actions in South Asia, perhaps threatening Laos. Interesting here. Justin is moving his cards around. Indo-Pak is an interesting hold here. If he holds the war, then India and Pakistan are probably safe for the rest of the game, but he's not going to get no-ups. Okay, now Korean War is spaced. Justin knows that unless he events Indo-Pak, he's not going to get no-ups. So I think Justin will try the war and save himself the 2 points and have to get more. Spaced up and covered there. Get the roll there.
But the problem is you want to hold Paki as Marshall. It's a lot of help for the USA.
Yes, so I think
mainly Marshall.
Yeah. So maybe Justin will event the war and then he will spend US-Japan. So he's going to space Suez as well and miss on that roll. Trying to get the 2 VPs. So, I think Justin may use U.S.-Japan to take Pakistan and South Korea, and then event the war, hoping to get 2 VPs and hope to get 2 more. Yeah, I think this is the right play by Justin.
And do you take
India? He does hit.
Do you take India there, or you take Pakistan and South Korea and wait for the USA taking India to play the war?
Yeah, he could do that if he wanted to risk the war. If he wanted to risk winning the war, obviously that would have been a big turn for him. But instead, he just plays it safe. And Yannick is going to get de Gaulle out of the deck here. So he fixes the 2 in France, and he's got 1 off to play with elsewhere. One thing Justin's not going to be able to do, because certainly if he's going to event U.S.-Japan, he wants to take South Korea. I guess perhaps you could see... Justin also wants to cover up Iraq, even out the Middle East, even though Yannick does not at the moment have domination.
I think I saw you realign with a high OP card South America in a similar situation like this one. Could you do it? Try Venezuela?
Yeah, that is a possibility. It looks like we're getting some comments in the chat that the music is a little bit loud.
Music?
Yeah, the music is dominating the voiceover. I think it might be a little harder to hear our comments. Obviously, I can't hear the music because I'm just looking at the screen, but just a couple of comments in the chat.
Yeah, I don't hear any music.
Oh, okay.
With music. Okay, maybe the audio from the video.
Yeah, that could be as well. But yeah, you make a good point about South America. He's left himself wide open to miracle realigns. And so Yannick does take Middle East domination. Let's see if he draws the scoring. He does not, but he does get 2 4-ops. And let's see what Justin gets. He holds over U.S. Japan.
Yeah, I think between Japan and Marshall, I really prefer to give Japan.
Yeah, in that situation when you've already secured 4 battlegrounds. Okay, so Justin does redraw 5-year plan, and he gets Europe. So that's a break for Justin. Justin also picks up decal. So is this a situation, Harib, where you could see a decal headline followed by an immediate Asia scoring? Of course, this is complicated by the fact that Yannick has defectors and Justin knows he has it. So a little bit of a mind game here. If you're Justin, because if you headline decal, put a couple into Southeast Asia, you can quickly score a domination. Of course, you do that, you give up the coup, which definitely has value as well, and you have no way to get mill-up. So I don't know if that's a great play. What would you do here if you were Justin, Harib?
Shit, the problem is that, the factor is in the other hand, so I really don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so Justin plays it safe, doesn't want to deal with
maybe socialists, because if he doesn't play the factors, he will be busy fixing that problem in Europe and
so
making some problem. But well, playing Japan instead of Marshall will be better for headline socialists this time.
Yeah, and he would have been a 10-point swing, I believe, with West Germany at 4 and France at no, because he obviously didn't have a Romanian. So,
but
would not have been.
I'll let you keep USA busy with Europe, while it's not going to be scored because you have 5-year plan.
Yeah, if nothing else, you just annoy the U.S. a little bit, make them fix stuff up. Justin also gets Fidel, so he'll certainly be eventing that, and. So the question here is, so Justin's going to want a decal, and boy, decal would have been such a great headline against Duck and Cover. Would have been able to score an Asia domination and not give up a coup or mill-ops. But that is the mind games with defectors. This one's a decal. Certainly Nigeria here. I think certainly Southeast Asia as well. Okay, yep. I think this is right. Running a domination. Yeah, just how are you getting more comments about lowering the volume of the soundtrack?
Yeah, I think I fix it.
Okay.
Is the challenge of human relations and not of impersonal natural forces.
Yep. So it would have taken quite a bit of bravery on Justin's part to be willing to headline decal when the opponent has defectors. Would have worked out for him, but obviously Yannick capitalizes on that. And so Justin now in a situation where he needs to decide whether he wants to try and fight for Asia domination. He has 5 countries to Yannick's 6 countries. And now he could use a China card to put 3 Burma, 2 Afghanistan, and take domination. That would force Yannick to then take Japan or Taiwan. But of course, with Formosa in effect, he can take Taiwan.
But he can play China card with 5-year plan.
Yes, of course. So you are right about that, Harib. Thank you for pointing that out.
Just give it up and try to fill South America. I think is the best thing you can do.
Yeah, and I think giving up's not that bad. It's still 3 VPs. That's not nothing.
Yeah, it's like a Middle East domination.
Yeah, 3 VPs is nice for Justin, and then Justin can now afford to give up U.S. Japan to do some much needed spreading out in South America. So Justin's going to need to event Fidel. Then he's going to have 10 ops to play with. And I suspect that what do we need? Justin needs 4 to fill up the top half, and he needs another 4 to fill up the bottom half. So 8 ops will go into South America, and then the other 2 maybe Iraq. Harib, where do you think? I think with 10 ops here, you're going to event Fidel, you're going to fill up South America, and maybe you fill up Iraq.
Yeah. Is that 10? Oh, I didn't see the other car he's playing now.
He's playing Socialist Governments now.
Okay.
So 3 from Stock Gubs, 4 from US Japan, and 3 from 5-year plan is 10 ops.
Yeah, I think that.
Yep.
Ooh. Unless you wanna Brazil and free in Venezuela, at least. So you event Fidel.
Okay. So Justin puts 1 into Saudi Arabia, forcing Yannick to put an extra 1 there. I think I would have liked to see that op go into South America, because now you're not going to be able to get the usual 3-2-3-2 voice-proof control.
Yeah, Yannick has a lot of points. He can afford that.
Yes.
I guess to Mexico, to South Africa. Maybe feeling Israel, I don't know. You can also try to play Algeria.
How interested are you in grabbing that 2VP for the space race tracking in case Justin snags 1 small step on turn 4? Would you use Cambridge 5 to fill Mexico, or would you space it, even though it's a harmless event, to try and lock up that 2VP now?
So yeah, I think I fill Mexico. It's a totally free card. You have the option to fill Mexico. It's better than a gamble, I think.
Yep, and then what would you fill? So he can fill Mexico, but obviously no access to Panama. Algeria is already taken. Would you fill South Africa? Would you fill Israel with the extra ops? Also, would you UN Nasser and leave him in the deck for the late war, or would you just deal with him and hope that Sadat comes up before the scoring?
I don't know. At this point, well, I don't know. Europe is not going to be scored, but at this point, I don't know if I UN Nasser or I don't. Because, of course, you want to play Nasser before Sadat. But with Middle East score coming.
Boy, I don't like this line of play by Justin here. He breaks Saudi Arabia, but spends 2 ops of breaking in Saudi Arabia to stop domination. And that can be easily fixed.
I guess he's holding Nasser? Because he played even by just by ops.
Yeah. Boy, I would have liked to see those ops go into South America. So that's 3 ops spent in the Middle East that I think should have gone to South America.
Yeah,
Middle East domination, just like you said, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, Harry, Middle East domination is just not that big a deal. This is 3 VPs.
Yeah, 3 VPs.
And I think the South America payout is potentially much greater.
Yeah, 3 VPs is a race. Of course, it's OPEC. If you have more countries, it's better with OPEC, but...
Yep.
I think halves Argentina, Brazil, and Venezuela was really, really better.
I agree. So Justin's going to, I assume, 1 Venezuela, 1 Brazil, and 1 Argentina would be my guess here.
1 Brazil and 2 Venezuela is good.
That is. Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do. Okay. So that he can't be locked out of the top version, but it's not. He can still be taken out of the bottom version, the bottom half of South America with VOA and then Nigeria as well. So VOA is still very powerful here on turn 4, but pretty much always is if you're the U.S. Turn 4 VOA headline can be devastating. So Yannick looks like he wants to hold the purge because he doesn't have a great place to spend his ops here. He could take South Africa maybe Burma, or he could fill up Israel, but none of those seem like a great use of ops. So I like the decision here to hold the purge, give up Nasser, get him out of the deck, and then hope he sees Sadat soon.
Yeah, another option here is place 3 in Algeria. That's really annoying.
Yeah, and you could jam Algeria here.
Then with Saharan state, you can trade Nigeria and realign in Nigeria. But holding red scare is really nice for the USA because all the 2-0 cards for the Reds.
Yeah, it's not that powerful for the US in the early war, but in the mid-war it can just be so problematic. Okay, so he decides to just put one back in Egypt, and unfortunately for Yannick, he has drawn the gunman, and he's also drawn Kennedy. So, however, he has drawn salt negotiations, so he can use that to get out of the gunman, and perhaps hold Kennedy the next turn.
I believe this nation should commit itself to achieving the goals for this decade.
So the purge coming. This is not a particularly problematic purge hand for Justin. Puppet governments, obviously, he doesn't want to give up, but he can hold that through. NORAD will get spaced. EEU is not a problem. And I think... I don't know. Would you play Junta here? Junta into Panama, I think would be the play, and then try your hand at Mexico. Unless you wanted to realign Mexico at -2, which would be pointless, and then try Angola. But I think I would. Right, Harib? I think you just try the Mexico coup. Hope you roll a 6 and get one in there, and then move on to filling up.
Yeah, I think that's better because he has not a really better headline.
Oh, and he does get the 6. Wow, that is a huge roll for Justin. Now he's looking at Central America control.
The problem is now Kennedy's coming, but this is really nice.
Yes, so that is nice for Yannick. He's got the scoring and Kennedy in hand. So now he's definitely going to be using Kennedy to dump the scoring and the gunman. This is a pretty good hand for Kennedy. He's going to be able to dump 4-5 problematic cards. But that does get Kennedy out of the deck for potentially. I think what he probably would have rather done, Yannick, is evented Salt, gotten rid of the gunman, and then gotten rid of the gunman forever, so we didn't have to worry about it, and then maybe hold on to Kennedy. We'll see. Although even in that case, he would have to space both Quagmire and Muslim Revolution because those events cannot be given up.
Yeah, I think if I'm playing Kennedy, I just get rid of Long Gunman without Salt.
Yeah. Yep. I totally agree. So I think
discard,
I think it's
discard everything you can discard. Yep. Future will tell. You should redraw it.
Discard. Yeah. I would discard everything except for Salt here. Now, another interesting question for you, Harib. Under the Purge, would you consider eventing How I Learned just randomly in the middle of the turn for Justin? Keep DEFCON at 2, but that activates Arms Race.
Well, that's not a bad idea. Something I like from the hand. The problem of headline Junta is that it's not mill-ups, but well, with our land you can get it.
Yeah. So let's see what Justin decides to do here. He'll definitely want to get mill ops. Now, if Salt Negotiations is evented, obviously that will give both players mill ops. But this is not really a problem hand for Justin. Obviously, it always hurts to be purged. You never want to be purged. But this is not really a problem hand for Justin. I think he will be able to deal with this just fine. And now he has control of both Americas, and Yannick not even within the influence point there on the left side of the board. Yep, so this one's a no-brainer. I think you just get rid of all those red cards and that and that 10 BP scoring.
Yep.
So that's a nice Kennedy discard.
Not peace at the expense of freedom.
And he gets some ugly stuff here as well. Allende, not really a problem. Blockade doesn't have anything good to discard to blockade. Well, Flower Power, man, I don't know, Harib. Flower Power has won me games. My opponent will casually trigger it on turn 4, and then we look back at the end of the game, and it's giving me 10 VPs.
Yeah, it is more powerful than it seems.
Yeah, so I mean, Korean War is still in the deck. Now, Arab-Israeli War was just thrown out. So it won't be back to the late war. But Korean War still in the deck. IP War still in the deck. Obviously, we haven't seen Brush either.
Yeah. Yeah, I think blockade with Flower Power is nice. It's not... I wouldn't hesitate about it.
You hate to throw away a 4 with when you don't need to. But I think, getting rid of blockade seems like a good decision here. Special relationship is not active now. Of course, you could hold 2 cards by playing Salt.
Achieving the goal
Knowing that he hold Resker for the mid-war, I guess he's gonna play Salt for Resker again.
Yeah, that could be with ABM and Brush on scene. Now maybe he plays it for Junta just to try and get some access there into South America. Yep, I like this play by Justin. Pick him up some mill ops. Under Purge, you hate to spend 2 action rounds and 5 ops getting 3 VPs, but under Purge, it's only 3 ops. So it makes sense to just pocket those VPs. It's also going to protect Justin a little bit in case Yannick events Salt. As he does event Salt, he's got to get some mill ops now. He is at 0 at the moment. So Yannick got a problematic hand on turn 4. Kennedy did it away, and then got some more problematic cards here in the redraw. So now an arms race from Justin is going to narrow down the VP track to 2. And a decision to make here for Yannick. Does he want to use Flower Power to get rid of blockade? Does he want to Salt for the event? You just want to play it for ops. He's going to delay that decision another action round.
Yeah, I think I play it now because you want 2 mill-ups with a special relationship to coup Nigeria, for example, so saving blockade for the coup.
Yeah, well, he could event it on AR6 and then try and take a big swing at Brazil or Argentina on AR7 and get his mill ops that way. Then you're holding blockade into the next turn, though, which isn't great, even with the problematic cards and Lone Gunman gone. Holding blockade when you have an opportunity to get rid of it can be a little bit dicey.
Yeah, but I don't know, with the SAL negotiation limit to the roles in the coups, maybe you want to coup just one Africa country.
Yeah, that's true. You can flip over an Africa country and hope, and that would give you 3 battlegrounds to 2. That would be big as well. Justin decides to get into Israel. So decision time for Yannick, what he wants to do here. Reaching for Flower Power.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what
Okay, so
you
this
can do
says,
for
so
your
Justin obviously cannot event Salt now. If he did that, he would give up 4 VPs. So he's going to either use Salt for ops or he's going to use blockade to get rid of Salt.
I really like SAL here because Angola is on 4. There's not a really good target for the USSR, so you have 2 easy African countries to coup. In the battle coup, you have to try that with Salt.
Yeah, I like the Salt event here. As the US, I am often eager to play it. If for no other reason, I don't want to see the USSR pick it up in the late war, saving themselves from a DEFCON loss or picking up ABM or Purge or some other thing. If I have it, I like to pick it up. I like to use it for Purge, Junta, grain sales, so many good things to pick up as the US. So I think Salt for the event here makes sense. That raises DEFCON to 4, and then Justin will certainly coup, I would imagine, with containment would be my guess, and then Yannick can coup in Africa, either with blockade or with flower power.
Yeah, the problem of holding blockade in stages special is that if the USSR coup Laos, for example, you are losing millions. So
that's true. Yes, if he events Salt here, you're right about that. If Yannick events Salt here, he must coup on AR-7. He has no choice. So I don't know if there's anything that Justin could do to make him uncomfortable. Normally jamming an Asian battleground falls in that category, or a European battleground, but those are all well overprotected. So, and of course, Justin is under purge and in no position to jam anything. So Yannick does pick up Junta to try and get some access into South America. Oh, Justin's looking at the China card. You think he's thinking about a Thailand coup here, while purged and under Salt?
I don't like it.
Ooh, that is a risky play. He's probably checking out the numbers now.
Maybe I think I play just 2 in Uruguay with containment. Yeah, he took Junta. You want there? Oh, 6.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, if you get a 6.
That was a 3-op coup with the China card. So Justin gets a nice roll there. I mean, he had to have a 6 in order to take control. But of course, even if he didn't take control and he just broke control, Yannick can't fix. He has to coup elsewhere to get mill ops, and then another 6 on Yannick's side, so he gets into South America, and he holds Junta through the next turn with a chance to perhaps even things up there. And boy, once again, a lot of red in Yannick's hand.
Yeah, I really like it to didn't coup Thailand, let DEFCON at 4, play 2 in Uruguay, so you treat any coup in South America, and you save 1 coup before the Junta headline.
Yep. Okay, so this is quite a blue hand for Justin, and Justin probably at this moment is happy that he took Thailand, because that makes Southeast Asia scoring a lot better for him. But he's probably also not so happy that he doesn't have the China card, because this is going to be a problematic hand for him. He knows that Junta is coming in South America, so there's no way he would dare headline Missile Envy, and of course if he did, he would immediately lose the game. IP War is useless to him, and certainly he can't give up voice either, so that means he's probably giving up Usuri. This is going to be a tricky hand for Justin.
Yeah, I think Saudi Dash scoring should be the headline.
Yes, I agree. With Voice of America in his hand and Usuri in his hand, those are the 2 worst events. And obviously, he's expecting a Junta headline. ABM would be nasty as well, but an ABM coup of Thailand is going to be nasty no matter what. So, yeah, I like headlining the score and getting it out for what was looking like 6 VPs for the U.S., but now it's just going to be 2. So, you know what, Harib, I did not like Justin's decision to take essentially a 3-op coup of Thailand, but it looks like it's going to pay off for him and earn him 4 VPs, even though he would really like to have the China card right now. Yep, you're right. He goes with Southeast Asia scoring. And so now Harib, I assume, obviously fixing South America is important here, but if Yannick gets a big roll, I think space is huge here. You want to get those 2 VPs.
Yeah, the Johnny Justin hand is really bad. So
yes. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like this. I think I prefer to coup Venezuela there. Maybe with access to Argentina it's different, but without access, just 100% to Venezuela the coup.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I would have liked to see him just try Venezuela, just try flipping it over. And he would have needed a 5 to do that. But you would have needed a 5 to get 1 into Argentina anyway. So I like the option to try and kick the USSR entirely out of that top half. But he doesn't. And so now Justin can fix that. He's also going to need to think about Colombia. Boy, these are some bad cards in Justin's hand. Now, Camp David obviously is annoying to give up. It's an annoying event for the U.S. to give up. But it's really not the end of the world here. The U.S. already controls Egypt and Jordan. So...
Yeah, the only problem is flower power, by the way.
Oh, yes, that's true. Now, Arab-Israeli war is gone for the late war. It's gone until the late war, but it is, it's definitely a concern there. Now, Yannick has one small step. So do you think Yannick is going to be in a large hurry to go to space here? Or do you think he's going to concede the 2 VPs and try and jump over Justin and then maybe get 3 VPs by getting to the 5th spot?
I prefer the 2 VPs than going further.
Yeah. So... But yeah, Yannick is... I like the move into Colombia. I don't know. Maybe I would have preemptively done it as Justin on Justin's side as well. Of course, Justin does have Che, but he doesn't have another target for it unless, of course, Yannick decides to go into Uruguay.
Yeah, that's the perfect trap for Che.
Yeah, this would be a great Che hand. But of course, if you roll low in Uruguay, that is a big problem because you've just conceded Argentina. So yeah, just 1 in Argentina. Excuse me, just 1 in Uruguay. Gives Justin a lot better odds. He only needs a 2 to wipe out Yannick, and a 4 or better would set up realigns on Brazil. Okay, so that is probably exactly what Justin hoped that Yannick would do. So now let's see how he rolls. Colombia roll doesn't even matter. Even a 1 is fine. But the Uruguay roll is big. A 1 would be a huge problem for Justin. 2 is fine. And a 4 would create a threat on Brazil. A 1 is fine. Good job using up your 1 there. Oh, and a 2. So pretty terrible, but just enough. He does the bare minimum. So good use of Che there, even though the rolls were quite terrible.
Our goal is not the victory of might, but the vindication of right. Not peace at the expense of freedom.
Another terrible roll in South America. Boy, these South American countries are quite stable. So now Justin has the opportunity. He's got a little bit of a breather here, so I think Justin's going to go right to space.
Yeah, I think it's the moment to space because you have no more cards to play, so you really want to hold it to react.
Yeah.
I think he has to play Argentina before play Puppet with Missile and
yeah. Okay, so no, he's not going to space. He's just going to put 1 in Argentina and 1 in Colombia. Okay, so he's prepping for puppets there. And okay, so I can understand this from Justin. He may think that Yannick has the scoring. Although, you know what? If Yannick had the scoring, he would have dumped it already. Because Justin did not take Colombia when he was fixing up the Junta damage. And so he did not establish domination. So Yannick could have dumped it already for 1. So Justin should know that Yannick doesn't have the scoring. But obviously, on the flip side of that, of course, Justin doesn't want Yannick to repeat the same play he just made, because Yannick could just once again go 1 Colombia, 1 Uruguay and make 2 threats. And with Che in the dumpster, he's not going to be able to, wouldn't be able to answer both.
Oh,
Another one in Colombia. That's 3 straight ones in Colombia. After we had a 6 in Thailand and a 6 in Brazil for huge swings, now we've had 3 consecutive ones in Colombia and a 2 in Uruguay.
yeah, I guess now it's the same with Minsier and by Argentina and Colombia game. Let's see.
Argentina, Colombia. Justin really doesn't want to allow these real lines. And understandably so. Justin looks like he's going to use Missile Envy here. Yeah, one Argentina. Build that up. Makes sense. We have not seen, on the U.S. side, we've not seen OAS. We've not seen Colonial Rear Guards. We've not seen Panama Canal. So still some big U.S. cards to come out. And then on the power cards side of things, we have not seen ABM and we have not seen Brush. So obviously, who draws those cards and how effective they are will play a huge role in this game. So with Missile Envy out, this might be time for a blockade dump. We will bury you coup of Colombia. Would you agree, Harib, or would you just go to space here? He's already used one small step. Oh, I didn't even talk about that. Yannick already burned one small step, so now he has no incentive to delay on space. I think I'd space now.
Yeah, the problem is Yannick has not a really good card to space. Maybe Portuguese, but
Portuguese is kind of weak here, but Portuguese does give Justin domination in Africa. So yeah, I think you space Portuguese. I think you use blockade to dump. We will bury you. He's gonna go for a big coup. Wow. Okay, and he rolls a 6.
yeah, I think after all those ones, he didn't want to cope with blockade.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so Justin at this point it has no choice but to allow the realigns.
En las condiciones de la inmensa mayoría de los países de América Latina, no hay otro camino que la lucha armada. Y esa parece ser la situación también.
Besides, he has not any good card now to play.
No, yeah. So I think I would space voice, stomach puppets, and then play containment. And I think I'd probably hold Usuri because none of Justin's Asian battlegrounds are overprotected. So Usuri is a big problem for him here. Yep, Justin finally decides to go to space. Boy, it's unusual to see 2 players. Oh! I'm confused by that. Confused by him just deciding to space We Will Bury You instead of Portuguese and then using blockade to dump We Will Bury You.
Yeah. I think if you can get rid of blockade, you have to.
Yeah, I like getting rid of blockade.
You don't know if the next hand is worse to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, one chase out. I like Cameroon, Zimbabwe, or Cameroon Saharan State.
Yeah, Cameroon Saharan States, because Justin certainly, I would think, is going to have to protect Pakistan here.
Yeah, even Cameroon Saharan State and Zimbabwe.
Okay, so he's going to go looking at the Central American route instead, which makes sense. Set up multiple realigned targets instead of just one. which is good. But obviously the disadvantage there is Central America's already scored.
With the Triple Africa non-battleground, Zimbabwe, Cameroon, Saharan State, you have a good second target too.
So Pakistan, Nicaragua was the play here, and that's what Justin does. Yeah, Justin's gonna go for the realigns here. So he's got 2 nice targets, and he misses on that roll. He's gonna try again, and he gets the big clean out. So now Justin with no access to put that back in. I think Mexico is the play here, right? Even though the region's already scored, you have a +1.
Yeah, you can try Algeria or Zaire too. Africa scoring is coming.
So he gets 1 out of there. That's a big moment in the game. After a lot of fighting over Colombia, Yannick gets a big roll there and is able to steal back Venezuela. Oh, and containment. So interesting. So he goes for a coup in Guatemala, and that's going to allow Yannick to dump Portuguese with blockade.
Yeah, I like Yannick had threat in some moment, the Africa scoring. There's some non-battleground there.
Yeah. Make some kind of a threat there. But okay. So a little bit of a break for Yannick. I would have, if I were Yannick, I would have used blockade to just dump We Will Bury You. But now he can use blockade to dump Portuguese. Essentially, get 2 ops out of your containment.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this.
No,
I would
I don't
absolutely be using blockade.
I really don't like because it's just one point more,
Yeah.
and you're drawing an extra card next turn.
Yeah, not to mention you're handing over an African non-battleground to potentially give domination. And now, of course, if you want to do this, I would just poke Algeria and not give... Yeah, I think that was a mistake by Yannick. Let's see. Okay, so Yannick gets Africa scoring, but he also gets Bear Trap, Nuclear Subs, and Colonials. So, some big cards here, but ABM and Brush still unaccounted for. Does Justin get them? He gets ABM, he does not get... Oh, no, he does get Brush. He gets both of the big cards, but the rest of his hand is quite terrible. He does, interestingly, get all 3 China card cards, so let's see how he manages that. Oh, this is going to be an interesting turn. Now, South America scoring does not come out. Middle East scoring also does not come out, so we will not see either of those until turn 7. But Africa will be hotly contested this turn. There's no question about it. So Justin has ABM. He's got Brush. He's got all 3 China card events. He's got the Pope. And then he's going to have to... and he's got OAS as well. Sadat, not really an issue for him.
Ask what you can do for your country.
So Justin going with an ABM headline here. Not gonna wait. And so would you think about an Angola coup here? Yep, he decides to coup Angola and he gets a 6 out of it. So Harib, what's your plan here if you're Yannick? Would you think about eventing nuclear subs and just trying to get some big coups in Africa?
Maybe. Yeah, with Africa scoring in your hand, you can try that.
So DEFCON at 3 now after ABM.
The problem is Angola, it's like 6. And let's see. If Justin wants to coup Nigeria or just take it.
Yeah, I think I don't think I'd allow a coup here. Algeria is probably gone. You could spend 3 ops to take it back, but it can get realigned. And I definitely wouldn't want to give up the coup. Justin also doesn't have a 4 op to do that with, I don't believe. So I think I'd just coup Nigeria here with Korea with a 2 op. Yeah, and I like using Nixon here, getting him out. To coup, yeah, I like a Nigerian coup.
Yeah, maybe with Jean Paul or Korean War.
Our goal is not the victory of might, but the vindication of right. Not peace at the
I think nuclear is a really good event now.
both peace and
Yeah,
here in this
Because
country,
there's not really
and we hope around the world.
anything USSR can do.
That goal will be
The salt is out. Europe scoring is gone. He can make pressure in any other
yep.
place on the
Now,
board.
I also didn't mention that one of the colonial rearguard influence went into Thailand. So if Justin decides to just coup Nigeria, Yannick does have the option to flip over Thailand with the China card. But I don't know how strong that is, given that Justin already has 4 other battlegrounds, and that domination is unlikely to be affected here. So I obviously taking Thailand is so great, but I don't know that it's the right decision.
Yeah, I think right now flipping Thailand is just 2VP.
Yeah, Southeast Asia's gone. It's
So-
just 2VP. Yep.
I think it's better to flip some African country since you have Africa scoring.
Yeah, I agree with that. So flipping Thailand would not be high on my priority list. If I were Justin, I would ignore that threat, and I would just coup the heck out of Nigeria here. Even if you roll a 1, you're fine. And then a DEFCON's at 2. You have Brush War, and obviously Colonial Rearguards was just seen. VOA is gone. So then he's going to have to stomach some nuclear subs coups. Oh, he's going to go influence. Oh, I don't like this.
No, I think
I don't
protecting
like
Thailand
this.
now is not necessary. If Johnny wanna play China card in Thailand, okay, just do it.
Oh, I don't like this either. I don't like that either. So now Justin just coups Nigeria.
Yeah, you're giving a coup. No reason
Yeah,
for
I
that.
would have if I were Yannick, I would have cooed Nigeria there, and then you can realign in Algeria. Of course, Justin now needs to roll. Okay, well, he only rolls a 2. Still,
Yeah, but if you coup with something and just hold your 4 OP, that's your best card.
yeah.
It's nice to hold it.
Algeria was very realignable there. Okay.
Yeah, I guess he didn't see the DEFCON at 3. Yeah.
Yeah, did not see DEFCON at 3. So a big mistake by Yannick, I think. But he's unlikely to have to pay for that mistake because he's going to get a nice coup. And so I think Justin is going to want to event cultural here. Yeah, he's going to event cultural. And then the question becomes, does he try and hold Usuri? Okay, so big roll there. And now Yannick with domination. He's got 4 countries to 3 and 3 battlegrounds to 2.
I played Rush now in Brazil. You have to
Yeah,
do
oh,
something.
yes.
You have to do something.
Yes.
To do something. Just wait for Africa scoring at 10. It's not an option.
I love Russia and Brazil. Italy also an interesting target. Of course, Europe has scored and South America is coming up next turn. So Brazil probably the better play. But
playing in Brazil, you to avoid one more coup in Africa because he has to play influence in Panama, in Venezuela.
yes, that's true. He has to save Venezuela.
Well, if you succeed, obvious.
Yep. He's gonna play the China card. Okay. So stops domination by taking Botswana and Central American battlegrounds.
I think you have to make more aggressive action there because you are giving too easy the nuclear subs event.
Yeah, I don't love Justin's. I don't love that play there. That Central America stuff can easily be ignored. Okay, and now you're down 4 battlegrounds to 1 in Africa. Down 5 countries to 3, and you're gonna give up this domination. So this is time to make it hurt, and I think a brush war in Brazil is the play now. Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't matter. He rolled a 1, but I would have liked to see that brush war go into Brazil. You're already going to get dominated in Africa anyway.
And Brazil, he can counter coup if you rush successfully.
Yep. Now, as it happens, this is the perfect place for Panama Canal return to fix up Venezuela, and then I assume we will see a bear trap on turns on AR7 here. Justin's gonna hold through Usuri. So Justin behind here. He is ahead in Central America, but behind in Europe, behind in the Middle East, behind in Africa. South America is a draw. And patching up Panama doesn't do a ton for you. But yeah, Justin is well behind here. He's down double digits on the BP track. He's being dominated in 3 regions. That brush miss was big, but a brush hit I think would have been a lot bigger on Brazil than on Zaire. Okay, so Yannick gets grain sales, and Justin gets both scorings and a VOA redraw. This is an extremely problematic hand for Justin, especially now he is bear trapped, so he's going to be able to get rid of voice. But
grain sales in Argentina is, or anything he can grab there. Voice,
now the good news.
Missouri.
Quote, good news for Justin is that Yannick is not going to be able to grab a 4-op or another big card that he's going to want to use in South America. So it looks like it's going to be a 2-op coup for him. But this is essentially... Okay, so that is a lucky break. That's a lucky break for Justin, so certainly he will return that, I would think. The Middle East is going to be 3 VPs.
With Birtrad, maybe he can play it thinking about maybe Nasser or Muslim Revolution.
Yeah, a coup here. All he needs is a 3, and he gets the roll. Yeah, so that was a risky play by Justin, knowing grain sales was coming. Backfires on him, even though the exact card he wanted was drawn. So now Yannick up 17, and Justin with a -3 VP scoring and no events to contest to really contest the Middle East. Hardy, I think this one's over.
Yeah, maybe the space just gives you 2 VPs, but I'm not sure.
No, it doesn't, because both players are at space 3, so they can get to space 4.
Okay.
And so Justin could space, but then Yannick could just win with 1 small step. Oh yeah, I think you gotta pick Israel there.
Yeah, I don't think Justin can do anything with that hand.
Nope. Justin's hand is abjectly terrible. Justin's not even in a position where he can hope. that. Oh, space, so he could just lose the game right here. Okay, well,
Yeah.
that is going to do it with one small step. Doesn't even need to score the Middle East. And so Yannick with a victory over Justin and a U.S. mid-war victory on turn 7 on the VP track. Just a really difficult turn 6 for Justin. Saw Africa turn from USSR domination to U.S. domination thanks to nuclear subs, and then rolled just enough on grain sales, and then gets the one small step redraw to get up to 20 VP. So congratulations to Yannick getting the first victory